That's right, ladies and gentlemen. These are indeed Mitchell Starc's Ashes. This guy is a freak. He is now the best batter in the side. He's the best bowler in the side. He is just the best bloke I've ever met in my entire life. He is captain, leader, legend without being a captain, or a captain, which is a separate thing, or El Capitano. That's right. It is late at night, and it's been a travel day. Pezza, I understand from a cricketer's perspective, when you look at that last session, how quickly the game moves. I understand that if I was playing and I was a pro athlete and I cared about my body, I would have absolutely zero interest in playing a pink ball game. I would have zero interest in it. Like, it's scary. I would lose faculties because I'm scared of the ball and it looks hard to see and I can't execute my skills that I've trained my entire life for. Now, the players have to realise that we don't give a fuck about that, because the pink ball test is amazing. People can watch it. It's on at prime time. And when your team wins in prime time in a test match, sorry, that's just the greatest thing ever. So Australia 2s are going to win a game by an innings. I'm not happy. But what I will say is that these are Mitchell Starc's Ashes. Those are my opening thoughts.
If I don't wake up tomorrow and read news of an urgent call to assign Mitch Starc a knighthood, if I don't see a headline saying "Arise, Sir Cratsy Boy," which he then rejects for on account of national loyalty, then I'm marching on the embassy. Frankly. I'm marching on Downing Street. Mitch Starc is a joke. Bowling 145 k's an hour at age 35, spell after spell, with his, that Olympic body glistening in the Brisbane sun, is a fucking joke. And he's now receiving the slow-mo treatment, I notice. Because today we got to see the Mitch Starc, what a good cricketer he is. Mitch Starc, with a top score with the bat, and it's an innings today from Starc that allows us to also say, oh look, he's always been able to bat, and he's got wonderful levers, and Captain Cumstain's on the TV saying, we call it the Starc arc. The rhetoric is just starting to dial up a little bit. Stokes and Will Jacks are in. They might do something. The game's not over, but it is. The wheels are just about off. There's one wheel left on the car of England. There's one wheel. There's fucking sparks flying behind them. It's zigzagging everywhere. They're fucked. But just want to keep a lid on it fractionally. Stokes and Jacks are there. Stokes has earned the right for a lid to just be kept on, because Stokes loves this situation.
I see.
I've come to understand only tonight, actually, through English commentary in particular, that Stokes actually quite likes these situations, and this is where captain, leader, legend stands up. So we'll see, I guess. But it's Kratz's day. It's levers, it's arcs, it's wonderful shapes. It's the opportunity for people to say he was a keeper as a junior. Did you know? God, he looked absolutely fucking gassed this evening, I got to say. And why wouldn't you be, given he's just been carrying the nation on his back?
Yep.
I've never seen more close-up shots of a man like touching the small of his back since Usman was doing it. People go, Crassy, you all right? There was a close-up of Travis Head talking to Mitch Starc, and people are trying to lip read, going, is he asking if he's okay? What if there's something wrong with Mitch Starc? And I'm just so happy. He goes, I'm so happy Starc is getting his time in the sun with the other two, with Cartel 1's fucking off. Cartel 2's went to work today. Don't worry about that. Yeah. But Kratzy gets his time in the sun, and he deserves it. His narrative arc now reaches all-time great stuff, and I'm here for it.
We get to have just a wonderful day if you're enjoying your Saturday, however you have chosen to do it, as opposed to it being assigned to you in a certain set of circumstances which aren't favourable to you in your life. Anyway,
modern day slavery kind of policies and stuff.
Exactly, and the acts therein, because we get to see Pat Cummins do commentary after having a net and him just being completely laissez-faire about the entire Ashes series as a whole. We also get to learn that he's going to play the next game, so the team's going to be better. We get cheers from Nathan Lyon running drinks out to his mate, and we also get some gallows humour from the Barmy Army because Starc didn't take a wicket in the first over. So, you know, like what are we supposed to do here with this? You know, I mean, this is well, I mean, we will look back on this scorecard in 4 years' time when the highlights start rolling around ahead of the 2029 Ashes, and we'll remember this game in those moments, and we'll remember. Wait, Weatherald was opening with Head, Inglis 6, Doggett, Boland, and Nisa all played in the same game. Okay, I didn't realise they were all alive at the same time.
Yeah. Nisa took 2 caught and bowls to change the game. Okay, bowling buck 30 just if he's lucky. Yeah.
I think Nisa's contribution to the game is pretty much so Starc could bat at 8 or 9 or wherever he's batting. Yeah. Because for some reason him and Cummins don't want to bat 8, but they score runs at the other one. You know, so that maybe that's the main contribution. I mean, we're just fucking around with the order now. I mean, this is Australia's on the precipice of 2-0, and according to society, it's one of the worst teams of all time, and we haven't played well yet.
Yeah.
So
yeah, look, the lid has to remain. Look, we should acknowledge that it should remain on. I doubt it will, but like. Basically, heading into the Ashes, there was 2 competing prophecies. You know, that like Bazball was the future, and it was the strategy. It was a 4-year strategy to unlock the difficulty of Australia, and usher in a form of entertainment for us to genuflect to and suck off England. Forever. That was one prophecy, and the other one was like use cunts of fucking shit and talk more bullshit than anybody ever. And the second prophecy is looking the goods at the moment because Australia is knocking on the door of going 2-0 up and bringing back 800 test wickets into the next game. But Stokes and Jacks are still in, and Stokes has done things. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. He's done things.
Yes.
The game, I guess. Australia finished with 511 cricket runs. Here goes. This morning or this afternoon. Who gives a shit? And I liked that there was a 5 in front of it. That is home stuff for me. The novelty of like 270s and 360s and everyone in double figures, and that's doing something for me. Gallows, getting into Gallows areas was good. Having a hefty, a feastable lead was great. Carey nicks off for 60 odd, and then Kratzy goes about his business. Scott Boland stays with him. England, it looked a good deck to bat on. You know, there was a few chats about cracks, but England couldn't really exploit anything, and it was just Kratz's time.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was actually when you reflect on England's performance in the game so far. I mean, they've played really poorly. Like like batting in this final session here is difficult for sure, but the bowling has been really, really poor. There is no excuse for that. You know, that's not a pink ball thing. Like, not used to bowling with a pink ball. Like all the odds are in your favour. Now this morning, like it just lacked so much energy. Or the first session of the day, whatever the fuck we're calling that, session 1, let's say. Like there was a lack of energy. I get the feeling they held Archer back a little bit because once the lead sort of got to triple figures, they were like, we don't need to bowl Jofra Archer 37 overs here this innings, so 25 will do. I got that feeling. I got the feeling that with Stokes as well, because, I mean, when I'm looking at this deck as well, like there was a couple that are starting to shoot low, particularly with Boland. I mean, he got Duckett, but more to the right-handers as well. A couple started to stay low. I'm looking at that and thinking, like, Ben Stokes bowling into that. But I mean, Stokes is their best bowler. I maintain that position, and just because he zeroes in on the stumps a little bit more with his angle in, Australia chasing sort of 200 on that would be interesting. I suppose it can still happen, but just given that the game was still on the line, for so much, but like England provided so little. Completely agree with the novelty of a third time in history that every batter in Australian cricket 1 to 11 has got double figures. That's nice. Scoring 511 with a top score of 77 from your best bowler is also funny. I got to say, I do feast on December home test hundreds.
Yeah.
Like there's a safety element to that. I'm hungry for it. Yeah, and especially when their guy has done the great thing. You know, he's climbed the mountain, and it's like our guy's good as well. But I do need like a I'm here to riposte from Stephen. That's how I saw it.
511 on the board, a lead of 177. It's just about touching the sides. I've got room for Pud.
Can I tell you what it reminded me of when Starc when he was doing his Starc arc thing and Cummins was on commentary? It reminded me of just like the decade and a bit of feeling like you were in the game in India, and then Jadeja or Ashwin would score 80. And like the partnership would be a fucking annoying 75. Yep. And I think Boland and Starc put on 50. Doggett and Boland put on 25 or something.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
Partnerships everywhere. It was innings defined by partnerships. Every single, like, was there 2 quick wickets at any point?
Yeah, last night Bryden Cast went bang bang in the same over.
Bang
Yeah,
with Smith. That's right.
Yeah, but
apart from that, it was just 50 partnerships everywhere.
You know, like obviously in Australia, you know, Chris Wokes is not rated because he's never done it here. But, you know, in England, one of the greatest home players of all time. So similar vibes of him coming in 8 and just scoring these annoying runs. That would have been fucking demoralising for England fans, let alone the team, just watching Starc like kind of slap some tired bowlers around, hapless. But there was just a lack of energy. There's a lack of output, like sort of like I was expecting a bit more from Stokes' sort of funky captaining, you know, suck off stuff. But I mean, maybe it just felt like the game was gone for quite a while before Australia sort of eked their way to a 177 run lead. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but I still felt like even into heading into the last like 90 minutes of the day's play, England was only like 1 good hour of cricket from being like a fighter's chance in the game. So I was grateful for all the runs that were being scored, just knowing that like some of their batters can get on a roll at times. It's just that they, you know, we'll come to their batting in a second. I know Stokes from time to time they've kind of characterised his captaincy, the journos, as like generating the innings a little bit, just, you know, rolling the dice where you have to get the wickets, but they just weren't coming. And I totally agree with you. I think opposition runs in numbers 7, 8, and 9 are the worst runs to concede ever, where you've basically done the good work and then someone's come in and just had a bit of a day and ruin your plans. But you know, for Australians, it was just more chances to bathe in Mitchell Starc's greatness. He's a champion, and then to have overlay shots of people wearing stormtrooper masks singing "I Want It That Way" by Backstreet Boys. That's my Saturday spread. You know, that's how I do it. Now, so Australia 511, 177 ahead. That's all looking pretty good. Enjoying explaining that to my son as well and doing math problems. Now, Cartel 2's go to work, he goes. Cartel 2's go to work, plus start. Fast start from England. Crawley Duckett doing the thing. And then I just thought Barrel looked so great today. Really? Barrel looked most likely. I thought that I was worried Smith was over bowling Starc, to the point where I texted Alex Malcolm and I said, I don't think Starc's the guy for right now. The next over, he dismissed Joe Root. So
for his 8th wicket of the game or whatever. Yeah. For his 18th wicket of the series. Yeah.
But I mate, I just want to shout out the bowlers. There was a period there in that final session where they locked the fuck in, and it looked like Test match cricket, and it was all of them. But it was the guys after Starc, like it was Boland especially, but Nisa and Doggett. They zeroed in on their lines and lengths. You know, great plans, not straying straight or letting guys off the mark. It actually looked like Test cricket for a little while there, which was fantastic. The compulsivity of England's batters when they are just tested,
dude,
with deliveries that aren't there to drive. you know, I I don't know what other words exist. You know, like I just would find it so maddening. It's such a cliche to reuse that definition of insanity, but it's so appropriate here. I mean, like Ollie Pope's dismissal was really. I mean, it's fucking concerning what mindset like results in that. You know, it must be some kind of embarrassment to have an entire like commentary box and everybody else going like, it's coming. You know, like we say this in grade cricket with people who like don't belong in the grade. You're like, this guy's about to get out. And you shouldn't be saying that about a number 3 batter for a top nation in cricket. But it's like, mate, if I'm going to keep bowling on a good length on fourth stump and you're just going to throw your hands at it, you know, out of some compulsion to drive, you're going to get out. You know, it's Russian roulette. There's too much risk. And so it proved. And it's just like, it's such a waste because sometimes it looks good. You know, I can only put it down to the, you know, a loyalty to the values of the movement of baseball. We must impose our game on every, you know, irrespective of the situation. Even, you know, I'm going to show you that I can drive balls that we all have learned over 150 years are going to get you out. It's farcical.
Mate, it must be so infuriating. But I mean, the entire, that great clip of the 2023 Ashes when Ponting and Kevin Peterson are on Sky at one of the breaks and KP's sucking England off. And Ponting's there just like he's out now, he's got 40, right? That's what this entire thing is, because I was looking at like Zach Crawley just ball machining his way to 45 or whatever, and Ollie Pope trying to do the same thing. And I was just like, I was watching it, I was like, Australia are just missing their mark here, but there was also a couple of extraordinary shots on the up when the ball's decking. And Australia are feeding these guys what they want to hit, knowing that they're going to nick it. Okay, in this instance, 2 pretty outstanding court bowlers. I mean, any court bowler of a seamer is going to be awesome, and it just goes to show how big fucking Nisa's hands are, because there's no way any of us are catching that. Like he just fucking plucks it with like between, you know, index and thumb. But they're so happy to be driven, and they'll have the square sweeper because, you know, they have little interest in like curtailing the aggression. They just want to deal in boundaries. But like, so they're going to play these majestic shots. And like in the first, they had 5 or 6 overs before the dinner interval, and I think they were none for 50 or something. Yeah. Played some great shots and looked lovely. And I think you said yesterday, like the ball machine on Zach Crawley must be one of the all-time great watches. It just has to be. But Australia they're not going upstairs. They're not bowling at the hip. They don't have a short ball plan. They're like, I'm just going to keep doing this because I know you're going to get out. Now, like, you know, we were calling this for fucking 2 years watching England play on these flat decks. You can't do it here. It doesn't work on these decks. There's too much bounce. And a pink ball in this session, I mean, it is so fucking dumb when you are an international batter. And to that end, mate, some of the deviation on some of these on these decks, like international players don't miss the ball by that much, and they're missing it by miles. And they're like, I'm just going to stick with this. It is absolutely moronic to not have any sort of plan to navigate what you're seeing in front of your eyes as you're driving along this road to a fucking car crash.
Yeah. I mean, you know, you're just tempted to like pathologize it. You know, like you want the therapist's couch. What's the cognitive behavioral therapy this needs to unpack the compulsion to do this all the time? You know, like so much of the way they play is couched in language like freedom and courage. And to me, in a test match where you're in foreign climes with a pink ball at night, to insist on attacking is the opposite of freedom to me. It's actually limited. It's slavery. You know, it's enslavement to this thing. And it's quite like it's more than irritating to watch. It makes you. I mean, it's what gives rise to the sardonic like explanations of this team as cultish. That the fanatical zealotry, the insistence on imposing attacking principles on situations, it just doesn't come across to me as courageous. Like, I actually find it needy and desperate, and and actually a poor comment on the flexibility and like the skills of the players. Defense is defense has value. I can't believe I even have to say it.
Mate,
the rejection of defense as value, or even the rejection of defense as a tool to assist effective attack, is moronic. It actually is nothing but low intelligence. It's low IQ stuff dressed up as genius. And this is just the second test. It's not even finished.
I thought the way Stokes played, particularly to Boland at the end, he was playing the ball under his eyes. It's like he's playing for tomorrow. Yep. And like England's still in the game.
And
if
Root
they
was
don't lose
doing that
6
too.
wickets. Yep.
Root was you could tell by the way Root was playing. It's not like, so I don't know if these guys have a seniority where they earn the right to do it or something. I mean, how afraid are these guys of like getting back into the sheds, being dismissed defending or something? I mean, is that where we're at with it? I mean, I just think if I'm an England fan, after everything, you just go like, boys, can we, I don't know, like, can I just leave a couple, or what? Can I just wait till they over pitch? Yep. Because what, if you keep flashing your hands at ball, I mean, I'm just saying stuff that people know about cricket. No, people aren't here for technical stuff, but like, if you keep throwing your hands at fourth stump, good length, you're going to keep getting deliveries there. But if you can show you can defend it, and that they're not going to get you out by bowling there, they will bowl somewhere else, and that's where you can score runs. It's a game plan for 98% of batters at all levels. Mate, I just find the neediness and the imposing of this just fucking. I'm sorry, but it is arrogant. You can see how people think it's arrogant. That's the principle sitting underneath.
Mm. Mate, I think you look at the output. So Zach Crawley in the series now has 120 runs, 0-0, 76, 44, 120 runs, averages 30 for the series so far. It's like that's the output. It's just mediocre. I know that's just one particular player, and he's actually played okay in this game, right? But that's the output. It's so unnecessarily risky. No game awareness, no match awareness, no thoughts of tomorrow. In a literal sense and figurative as well, there is like this fucking die another day attitude to it. I mean, it's just, anyway, I think as well, like what we're sort of like, we're annoyed at it, like we're annoyed watching it, and we support the other team,
Yeah.
But
I'm annoyed on behalf of the players a little bit as well, mate. Like, I mean, this might be drawing a long bow, but like, I think it's been fairly well established that to access this England side, you have to play in this certain way. Like Ollie Pope and Zach Crawley are fucking gun players. They're worldies. They've done things that are outstanding. They've done things that are outstanding before this movement started. That they're playing in, and like they're going to have played the majority of their careers with the being forced to attack at all costs, with results that they might look back on in their careers and go, I think I could have scored more runs at a higher average. If I played in a team with commitment to like batting principles, not just a style of batting the entire time. I just think the blueprint of one style of batting is it's just so unders for the variety of what Test cricket presents you.
I think that because Australia they are able to be got at. They are gettable, and they're vulnerable when they've taken out 3 of their best bowlers in the history of the thing. I mean, Michael Neser contributes. I mean, Michael Neser is a fantastic cricketer, and the fact he's only played 3 tests is a great shame. And he's got many supporters and admirers, and he takes 2 good catches, and he's part of a side that may win a test match by an innings, But I was looking at like Will Jack's bowl, and I was like, I think Australia made a mistake in the selection. I maintain that. I mean, George Bailey would be right to say, mate, I've just picked a side that's played very well at home again, and but I'm looking at that selection. I'm like, Australia's got away with it for the moment, because tomorrow, I mean, Nathan. Yeah, I just think Nathan Lyon should have played anyway. But here we are.
Why don't we talk about NordVPN and a few virtual private networks?
Yes, indeed. Yes,
that people may need for all sorts of reasons.
Yeah, well, as a top line, you can go to nordvpn.com/TGC to get your subscription started today. Very serious chat, but I think we're just trying to figure it all out, aren't we? You can change your location. You can get different shows on Netflix if that's what you want to do. If you're traveling and you want to watch the cricket, you need a VPN to access the streaming service that you have in your country. That's how it works. VPN, you change your country. nordvpn.com/TGC. They've also doubled down, as I was telling you yesterday, on keeping you safe with their new threat protection feature. Say goodbye to intrusive website ads and malware. And don't forget, Pezza, there is no risk to you with their 30-day money-back guarantee. Give it a try, and if you like it, great. And if you don't, they'll issue a refund. So, what are we talking about? Come on, check it out, nordvpn.com/TGC, if that's what you need in your life.
All right. Well, let's go to the punters. Here goes with hashtag AskTGC. Rhinestone Cowspunk says, hope Pez is warming up the old thesaurus because I want new ways of classifying how fucking atrocious this is. Don't know.
Is it a compliment?
Don't know. Yeah. I suppose so.
What about this? Fucking dog shit.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Drain the Marsh says, what's the equivalent of an Argus review for the Poms? I mean, Bazball was an Argus review in a way.
Yeah,
it was a response to Silverwood.
What's Reece Mogg up to these days? See, lying down on couches in a 3-piece.
I saw someone say Brody dresses like Jacob Rees-Mogg. That's not for me to say. That's an information exchange. I don't know.
I am enjoying Brody doubling down on saying this is the worst Australian team in his lifetime. He was saying that no Australian team in his lifetime would have let England escape as Australia did last night. So he's Brody's sticking with that. He's sticking with that. This Australian team shit. So
Yeah, I mean, he's got the fallback of no, it has to be true because since they won here. England hasn't won tests, and so therefore this team coming out, if they're due to win a test, then they would be the best. And if Australia doesn't win a test, then they would therefore be the worst. That's the fallback. But it has quite a clear undertone of I don't really rate these cunts, and that's fine.
I guess we'll see.
128k Brisbane radar Mount Stapleton says Bazball sandbagging so that CA sells the BBL. Maybe some insider trading, market manipulation stuff. Yeah, I mean, I think those are all sorts of conspiracies. Ravindra Fantasia says, why didn't we win already? Giraffe in Accordance says, fuck, I feel safe. Grade Physicist just says, Kratz. Pez said he has a higher taxable income than his wife. Said cricket is good again. I never said that, by the way.
I think Pezza, that what I would have enjoyed was sort of missing from the end there was like Penguins getting involved in because they did try to get involved with a couple of howlers.
Finally.
But what I would have enjoyed is if another wicket fell, 7 wickets down to extend the extra half an hour because I think England would have taken played the extra half an hour in these conditions where Boland is like the closest to a Stuart Broad that we've had in my lifetime in terms of like Broad was a far superior bowler, don't get me wrong, but like in terms of momentum, he's such an unassuming character, like whereas like Broad was like he was like the actor, he was the centrifugal force of drama and atmosphere and chaos and momentum, and well that's right, but Boland is like he gets on a roll and people just fucking get behind him, especially at home. And it's like, it's the closest to what I experienced with the fear of Broad as a fan watching, like Edgbaston at 11 o'clock at night or whatever. You know what I mean?
Nice. I like the way Boland zeroes in. Like when he just locks into an area, and you can't knock him off that area. And, he's challenging both sides of the bat, bringing every mode of dismissal in. That's I'm lying back there. That's glass of milk stuff for me. Each to their own. Mudguts the fuck pig says Kratz GPS numbers. What is? It's a big day for Kratz.
Yes.
He's earned a rest.
Yes.
Says, this is the safest I've felt since being in the womb.
Yeah. I was thinking,
That would've
Pezza,
felt safe.
about like where Mitchell Starc rates, in terms of the best cricketers in the world at the moment. And then I remembered that that there's a guy from the West Indies who just literally scored a double ton batting at 7 or 8 to save a test match whilst chasing 500, which they nearly did. And I'm like, doesn't count, Kratz.
Twos. That's your boy. Hands across the Nathan Coulter Nile says, who's the funniest player George Bailey could pick when we're up 3-0? I reckon Daniel Hughes could get a gig. How are you, Hughesy?
I think it'd be funny if they picked Dave Hughes.
Yeah, that would be good. I did this I was sent this. This is from Crick Info actually. I think one of their commenters said with Australia 162 runs in front and 1-0 up. The commenter says, just going to say it, George Bailey is almost the worst thing about the Australian cricket team at the moment, and it's a long list. Going to show that Australian cricket, even when it's winning, is built on a bedrock of hostility and greed. And long may that continue, because they are the pillars of our success.
So I guess we'll see what happens. The game still needs to be played out. There will be a day 4. People will go to cricket on a Sunday at the ground. The match will commence, and to the victor goes the spoils. And Joe Root may well have one of the greatest fuck's sake boys beers of all time. Scoring his 40th Test 100 in a side that perhaps may have lost by an innings. I guess we'll see. But the truth of it all is that this means we're going to start getting into some whitewash chat. And look, are we going
ready to go?
Yeah, look, that's the role we need to take.
One commitment we can make to you here at The Grade Cricketer is you will never hear us say that we're a bit flat about a series like this not being competitive or something.
Yeah.
I'm not flat at all. In no way. I'm bloated. That's fine.
I've been waterboarded. I am just absolutely full to the brim. So don't worry about me.
I'm ready to burst. Yeah. So anyway, Stokes and Jacks are in. Just a reminder. So they're two guys.
Clip this up.
Runs.
Clip this
absolutely.
Up when Justin Greaves comes in next and peels off 200. Because he'll play for England.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Australia. England on the precipice. England on the brink. One wheel remaining. It's wobbly. Zigzagging all over the road. Burnouts. Whatever. Australia just getting that milk ready. The nation is to go 2-0 up, but there's still a little bit of work to do.
Yeah, and I think we can all, as fans, we can truly say that it's been a very, very disappointing performance by Australia so far in these Ashes.
There's a lot to work on, and Australia will be buoyed to bring back 800 Test wickets into their side. And there's a couple of guys who've missed out on hundreds, so I think it's a case of get to training, boys.
Yeah.
Oh, and I should say, by the way, if there are any prestige golf courses in Brisbane that want to offer the England team a tea time tomorrow in the afternoon, that might help speed this whole thing up. Same with the Aussie boys too.
Yep.
So
there we go. A B- on the report card of Australia. I guess we'll see what happens next. See you guys tomorrow.